All right, another wellness check. This guest was an extremely tough get. He's on the run trying to get our city back to work. It's 53rd Ward Alderman, Ed Bus. Ed, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Brett?
I'm good, thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time to join us. Means a lot, man. The good folks from Chicago, not just your ward, will really appreciate hearing from you.
Yeah, well, the 53rd Ward is one of the most historic wards in all of Chicago. If you know your history pretty well, at one point it was the entire north side of the city of Chicago.
Right.
And then it was redistricted, and it was redistricted, and redistricted, and redistricted. Now, that little corner that used to be Fullerton and Elston and Damon, they come together there, by the Midtown Tennis Club. That's the 53rd. We just
that got a little bit bigger.
Yeah, no, I bring home the bacon for the ward, Brett. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
I bring home the bacon.
So that's good to hear, man.
Also, that Bennigan's across the street from the Art Institute downtown, that's the 53rd.
Is that Bennigan still there? I think it closed, didn't it?
If you know Chicago, you know where the Bennigan's is at. It may not be front facing for the tourists, but there's a back door and a knock, and you can get your chicken fingers and your artichoke dip and whatever you get from Bennigan's. Just tell them Ed Bus sent you.
All right, great. We'll do. So my alderman, I haven't really seen much of him.
Who's your alderman?
It's the guy who beat Proco Joe Moreno, Lasplata.
Whippersnapper, right? Young guy.
Yeah, he's a political newcomer.
Yeah, we don't let him in. I mean, we've been joking that we've been in stay-at-home rules at the council for the last 6 months just to tell him not to come. Like it used to be, like right now we're doing it all Zoom, all this kind of stuff, learn the Zoom. But with that guy, we're just like, hey, there's no meetings. We do it all by Zoom. We've been playing prank on it for 6 months.
All right, good. Well, hopefully that doesn't.
You gotta learn. You gotta learn somehow, right?
We have a huge viewership now with these video podcasts, so hopefully he doesn't find out about, or maybe just change the locks, or just find a way to revoke his credentials.
If you get a chance to talk to him, you tell him keep your mouth shut for the first 12 years. You don't say a word. After 12 years, you get to, once we give you the nod to come over to the cafeteria table, come on over, then you're in. But for the first 12 years, don't say a word. Proco Joe, he started talking. Yeah. Proco Joe started talking in the first year, second year. See what happened?
Yeah. Well, then he had some stuff happen on that got recorded on video.
Yeah. See, that's why I don't do that. I have 2 rules. 1, no phones. Right? No phones. And 2, no phones. That's it.
Right.
The only rule that Ed Bus has.
All right. So you're clearly the most, vocal and.
Thank you.
Yeah. And just present aldermen who are out there. Have you had much interaction with Lori Lightfoot during all this?
I think that at the first I was supposed to have a meeting with her, and it got changed, got moved around. She was doing all that, going out to, the late night talk shows, doing what, I wouldn't do if I were mayor. If I were mayor, I'd keep it local, right? I'd be on B96, maybe go over to the GCI.
Right.
Hit the AM stations, but I'm not going to New York. You can do it in Chicago. You don't need to go to New York.
Right.
Maybe do a little JBTV, like go on that show.
Yeah, she could do cable access type stuff like Walter Burnett does.
Right. Or go on Chick-A-Go-Go. There's a lot of different things you can do to stay local. So I haven't had much of a conversation, but I will tell you this. I think she might be a little intimidated by my Chicago style and the fact that everyone sees me and they say, that's a leader. See that guy? That's a leader. That's the leader we want right now. Who's that? I don't even know who that is over there. Oh, she's the mayor? Could have fooled me. He looks like the mayor.
This is the guy who gets things done here.
So I think that she's avoiding being in the same room and doing pictures and stuff because it makes it look like I'm the mayor and she's like the vice mayor. If that makes sense. She looks like it. She looks like she's doing comedy routines. Well, and I'm the one they look to get it done. The shovel.
And you're much taller than her, so you're the physical aspect of it all. Like, it's just the way it works.
Chicago needs a grandpa right now. They don't need some up and coming whippersnapper progressive mayor. They need a grandpa. They need a grandpa who once in a while is gonna grab their chest and the other time gonna take that virus by the bare hands, the scrumptious bare hands, and just body slamming because that's what you do in Chicago.
And then. So since you're clearly more powerful than the mayor, have you had many interactions with Governor Pritzker?
Well, not as much as I know the Pritzkers, You know,
Right,
I know
yeah.
everyone knows Tom. I mean, everyone knows JB and Penny and Connie and Tommy and Seth. But
Yeah.
nobody nobody knows Seth as much as they know JB. But you know, I'm more friends with Donnie Pritzker, who's not really well known guy, but a guy I play cards with.
Well, I mean, if you don't mind me blowing the lid off this, I think, isn't he a silent partner in some of your business ventures?
Well, you know, I don't want to get into business partners because that's pretty much just me. I do all the business, right? There might be some guys who put money in it without telling anybody, but those aren't partners. Those
Right.
are just, you know, those are money guys, those are bad guys. I mean,
Right.
I'm the business. I do the business. I got a lot of businesses, Brett. I'll tell you right now, I've got the Ed Bus Truck and Tow, which is great.
Right?
That's the great truck. You got a truck, I'll give you a tow. I got Ed Bus Tuckpointing, which is, you know, the idea of making the bricks work inside of your house. You know what I'm talking about, the roofing.
Yeah, tuck pointing.
I got Ed Bus Roofing. I got Ed Bus Floral. And I got, of course, the Ed Bus Chop House. All of those essential businesses in the 53rd, by the way.
Right.
And, yeah. So, and there's Ed Bus, I forgot, Ed Bus Oil and Lube. That's the other one, too.
What about,
Oil and lube.
Didn't you have your own line of Polish sausages for a while?
Yeah, we did the Ed Bus kielbasas, but they, you know what? There's some things went wrong there. There were some ways that they, you know, if you've ever known how sausage is made, it's put into the, you know, you kind of shove it in there, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's a problem with the casing, so we got to figure that out.
Some casing issues, right? Yeah. That's casing is key when it comes to a good kielbasa.
That's what I was saying in those meetings and all those stockholder meetings. Casing is the key.
Right. Yeah. They got to listen. So at the Chop House, so I'm recently vegetarian. Do you have anything on the menu that can accommodate vegetarians?
You know, that's not really our thing at the Chop House. If you want vegetarian, you can go to I think they call it the Sissy House, which is down a couple blocks down.
There's no salad bar. There's no salad bar.
No salad bar. We got rid of the salad bar. We might do some au gratin potatoes. You like those? Some au gratins?
But they got bacon bits in them, don't they?
Yeah, they got a lot of bacon. They got pork. They got sausage. They got meat. They got beef. They got chicken. All that stuff is in the au gratin.
Sure. Okay.
Right now, the best thing we got going to go on Thursday night, because that's when we take everything that's left over and we put it in one big pot. Stir it up and the whole thing. It's really good. It's called the Upton Sinclair Special. You're gonna love it. It's a whole thing. I mean, you just stick a fork. It's communal forks. That's the problem with this
little
virus.
Sawdust in there.
Yeah, right now this virus is making it trouble for the communal fork eating that we do at the Ed Bus Chop House. There's a lot of communal fork eating. And
right. Yeah.
That's right now. We just can't do it. Everyone's got to have sterilized forks. It's just the way it is. You know, we're all got to make sacrifices.
Yeah. True. And your wife, Dorse, how's she doing?
Dorse Carson Pirie Scott Bus. She's the heir to the Carson Pirie Scott fortune.
Yeah.
And she's doing good. She's great. She's got 2 or 3 different pantsuits that she just wears over and over and over. You know, obviously we're stuck at home.
Would you say she wears the pantsuits in the family?
Yeah, that's good. That's why you've got this podcast.
Yeah.
Not me, right? Yeah, she's great. She's doing wonderful. She leaves me alone. I sit downstairs in I'm in her room right here. This is her art room. But
I like that painting. Is that a Van Gogh?
No, it's not a Van Gogh. It's something that my wife was working on. It was actually the brand for Carson Pirie Scott for a while. If you remember, that kind of slid in, and then you'd say, "Hey, buy these jeans. You should have some earrings." And it was that kind of thing. It was in the background,
right.
So now we've got it here.
That's good.
But I will say that when it comes to being at home and working from home with my wife, it's about, you know, it's having our own space, and I'm downstairs in the wood paneled office most of the time. And,
right.
I just tell everybody in the 53rd Ward, suck it up. I mean, there are like 75 different Steven Seagal movies on right now. So, you know, you can watch all of those and never be bored. Never be bored. Why would you be bored?
Well,
there's nothing wrong with one of those movies. Never. He always beats the bad guys. How could you be bored?
And he beats them senselessly.
Oh, man, dude. Roundhouse kicks. That's my favorite.
Crushing femurs.
Yeah, and he's hard to kill. Under Siege 2, great one. That's an aircraft carrier one. That's great. Any movie where you're an aircraft cook, you're an aircraft carrier cook, and you also like have moves.
Yeah.
And then there's the one with the Jamaicans.
Oh yeah.
That's great. The devil worshiping Jamaicans, great. Just great stuff.
Right.
Just great
right.
stuff. Yeah.
So a couple other questions. I know you got a really tight time frame. You were telling me about earlier. What's the appointment you got next?
Well, Hard to Kill is starting in about 10 minutes. And
okay. Sure and you don't have a DVR.
No. I look like a rich guy. No, it's on the TV. It's on Channel 9. I'm gonna watch Hard to Kill and then probably watch Marked for Death and then do Under Siege. There's a lot of Steven Seagal going on today.
Sure. So, a couple last questions then, so we can let you get to your Steven Seagal movie. A lot of people around the country have been protesting, mostly at like state capitals and stuff, because they want to, get back to work, right? They want to, get these, stay-at-home orders lifted. Have you heard any rumblings? Anyone to be doing something like that at City Hall?
I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough call because those patriots, they are patriots, that are storming those capitals. They're just patriots, with their machine guns.
Right.
And they're no masks and gloves, just patriots.
True patriots, yeah.
True patriots. But I got my start in politics by beating up some hippies in Lake Michigan, right around the '68 riots.
Yeah,
that was my thing. So I'm not a fan of protests. I think protest is very un-American. I mean, really, this whole country is founded on the premise of you follow exactly what they tell you to do, and you never ever question it.
Right. Even if you have no representation.
Even nothing. You don't need representation. You just need to shut up, listen, and do exactly what they say. That was in the Constitution. That was the start. For me, I'm just amazed that they would co-opt these hippies, because if it were hippies, it'd be so easy. You know what I mean?
Right.
If it were hippies, right now, we go in there, we take our billy clubs, you knock them out.
Yeah. Crush a couple skulls.
Crush a couple skulls. Get out of the park. Don't come down to Lincoln Park no more. Right. But in this case, it's a little different because these guys aren't hippies. They're patriots.
Right.
So it's a little tougher to go in there and billy club them.
Especially so if any patriots show up at City Hall, well, how do you recommend that be dealt with?
Well, I have to say right now, as a fan of Mayor Daley, the old Mayor Daley and the new Mayor Daley, I always have to ask myself, what would Mayor Daley do?
Right.
And I think he'd crush skulls no matter what. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if you're a pro Daley, anti-Daley, whatever it is. If you're protesting at all and get anywhere close to Daley Center, we're going to crash them.
Yeah, he'd have City Hall encircled with dump trucks and salt and snow plows.
You know what? That's what this says. It says you got to make sure that you don't shit in the lake. Like, that's the first thing. These are the rules of Chicago, right? Don't shit in the lake. And number two, if you protest, you're going to get your skull cropped in.
Right.
Those are the two things. That's it. That's all that's in the Chicago Constitution.
That's
so
the charter,
it doesn't really matter who it is. You just can't go down there and protest.
That's fair. So, we do tend to cover sports here. So let me ask you a couple real quick sports questions. So you got any relationships with any of the sports owners in town?
I don't. The 53rd Ward for a long time. Eddie Einhorn was a buddy of mine. But he's not around no more.
Right.
I don't know the Reinsdorf too well. But I do. Occasionally, I'm not going to go to Cubs Park. I'm not going to go to watch the Bulls. I don't believe in that sport. I'm a hockey guy.
Basketball.
I don't believe in that. That's not a sport. They're just a bunch of guys hanging around. They're not doing anything. It's a guys hanging around. That's all basketball, just hanging around. Shoot, get out of here. You can't hang out here.
Right.
Take your ball, go home. No, but I feel like I'm trying to think of any of the owners that.
Well, if you ever wanted to flex your muscle, you could, on a game day, if we ever get sports events back, you could shut down your ward so no traffic can get through.
Yeah, no, I already do that.
I
have probably 1,000 Ed Bus sawhorses, like that I've got with the stenciled 53rd Ward, and I put them up all the time. I mean, they're blocking my street right now. I mean, that's the idea, is that you could just, you put stenciled sawhorses anywhere. I don't do as much professional sports. I'm much more of an amateur guy. I have to say that, my charity of choice is the Ed Bus Tumblers. Right. And of course. For the Chicago area, a lot of kids from the 53rd Ward. And, I'll do more of that kind of stuff where we'll go down and we'll do burpees at the gym. We'll do some parallel parking, some grocery.
You say we, it's not you. You're not.
No, I'm the coach with the whistle. I'm making sure they're out there and things like that. I take them down. We go swimming in the Michiana Harbor shipping canal. They go back and forth. They don't mind the water. They love it. They said the water tastes like pizza. It's great. They love it. It's not even a thing. Now,
does it taste like deep dish?
It tastes exactly like deep. It's deep. It's got that heart. It's like that.
Right. Like Lou Malnati's.
Right. Is that oregano? What is that? No, it's probably just dirt.
Right.
But they're very, and I feel right now that the kids of the ward, is obviously they're not in school, which is a bummer, but they are my essential workers. I'm trying to give them something more than just school. This remote learning crap, that's for someone else. For me, they're the ones out filling potholes right now. They're the ones that are finding and catching rats. That's what I want to do. They're the ones running. Right. They're the ones running my grocery store runs. the things they need to learn about the lessons of life.
Right.
They
That's
learn
the
from
Ed Bus Tumblers.
Yeah, that's right. The Ed Bus Tumblers.
They get paid for that?
No, of course not. I get paid, but they don't get paid. Yeah.
Right. Right.
It's a charity.
Right. Yeah, of course. It's your foundation. I
They're
apologize.
they're donating time, and then the money goes to me and my family. It's charity. It's how charities work.
So the last thing I've been asking all the guests on my wellness check here is what would they sacrifice in order for the quarantine to come to a quick and responsible end, for the pandemic to release us from its grasp? What would you sacrifice, Alderman Ed Bus?
Oh, that's tough to say. The first thing that comes to mind is Steven Seagal movies.
Woo!
But that would be a tough one, and I don't think I could do it. Maybe turkey jerky. I never really liked it. I feel like turkey jerky be a place and that kind of, and probably my daughter Tanya. Those would be the three things that I would probably sacrifice to get
Where
back.
Where is Tanya?
Tanya is she's sheltering in place with some of her roommates from college, some Notre Dame football players.
All right.
No, Brett, I don't have to tell you, they make men at that school. She's dating a linebacker, which is great. I mean, it's amazing to have just the honor of having my daughter date a Notre Dame football player linebacker. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted from my daughter.
That's great, man.
Yeah. But Tanya,
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, Ed Bus, that's all I've got for you. You got anything you want to, any wisdom?
No, the only thing I'd say is vote daily. He's not even on the ballot, and there's not a daily running. But any time a daily shows up on a ballot, it's your
write
duty,
them in.
the city of Chicago, that you need to vote daily.
Right. Well, Ed, I really appreciate you taking the time. I'm gonna let you get to that Steven Seagal movie. This was very, very, very honored to have you on the show.
You're hard to kill. I'm hard to kill. Ho, 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 ho. Okay. See you.